Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Yeah, we are getting very, very close to that deadline. So, welcome back everyone to Metaphor ReFantazio. Last time, we defeated, not actually our final candidate battle, but one that is kind of a rough fight, but I accidentally made it look easy by dispelling his, Makaracans all the time. And also, he got wrecked by Yufa verbally, and now he's gonna spend the rest of his days crying. As deserved. So, in terms of bonds right now, once again, we have Stroll and Maria, but the rest of Basilio's ranks, I'm pretty sure, are all just, like, off the runner, but they will require very high levels of royal virtues, as long as it's about to be nighttime. But I think now it's time for proof of power, and to prove our power, we're going to go to a tower, because that rhymes. Oh, I've already bought the informant info on the tower, and really it's just like, oh, the Cyclops is weak to Pierce, like all the Cyclopses, and it goes berserk when you kill its minions, like all the Cyclopses. Also, that line is perfect. I reload and am greeted with this. Yes, it's been a bit since I last recorded, but let's get going. Oh, how I would love to another rank with Basilio, but I don't want to put off going to... It's Idol's Day. I was saying I don't want to put off going to the tower any longer, but there are going to be some good use cases for Seeker coming up, so I think I'll take Moss Caliber. I guess I could use this for whenever I use Junah and, like, Wizard. And we also have this Auto Rakukaja armor that we can buy. Which I suppose we go on Basilio for now. Okay, let's head out on the road, and on the road, we'll be doing a very significant rank up that I made sure to plan for. At least I hope that I planned for this correctly. Oh, wait. Beforehand, we need to make a stopover in Verga. I'm actually glad we do. It feels like it's been a while since we went to Verga, even though the Altabury arc's gone by so quickly. It's funny, as of recording this, I've just seen, like, the list of Pokemon that are available in Season 1 of Pokemon Champions, and it's, like, mostly a bunch of Megas and Weather Setters, and for some reason, Cast Forms there. So, whoever wants to try and get Rank 1 in the world with Cast Form, I get the feeling Wolflick's probably gonna try it. Anyway, Withericus Changicus. Now, we head out on the road and have a very important bond conversation on the way. I, again, hope I did this right. Yeah, I did. The only person that can be is Junah. So, this is a very significant rank. Of course, I'm going to try my cooking first. I actually have Altabury wheat flour now. Can't quite make that. I can make the adamantine honey cake, though. And in fact, this is actually our first time we'll be cooking with Basilio. Hey. Do you like that shade of dark green for his casual outfit? Yeah, as we found out, Basilio is a pretty decent cook. So yeah, the ratio of good cooks to... it's not even bad cooks, it's like weird cooks, because Hulkenberg and Junah are the two weird cooks in the party. Everyone else is good. That's something that I might be talking about in this next dungeon. Like, there's really... Like... There aren't really any followers or party members that anybody really hates in this game. Though as stated in the comment section of that why Metaphor, you know, might not have done so well video, the fact there is no, like, very little controversy with this game is itself, like, kind of a mark against it when it comes to its ability to attract more attention online and sales, which is a shame. Did you know that cooking and baking are two different disciplines with entirely different sets of skills? This PSA brought to you by Sanji. I almost instinctively went to the bookshelf. No, we actually are doing a real bomb this time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're free. This is actually a big step for Junah. Nobody on the team, nobody from outside. Well, I mean, nobody from outside is going to get in here because the goal runner's in the middle of the air.
Hey. Wait.
Yeah, I was wondering if they would still play this music, because I feel like the Wings of Freedom music is a little inappropriate for this. I've seen her before.
Hold on.
Yeah, remember that exact copy of Junah except way chippier, but wearing her exact outfit?
That...
Yeah, so you need to get 6 ranks deep into Junah's bond before you even find out this very important lore about the Nydia tribe. So every Nydia that we've met, we've heard about Nydia using glamours before, but this is our first indicator as to why.
The truth is...
So in a way, the Nydia are essentially this world's equivalent to gnomes. And they start transforming as soon as they're old enough. Okay, so they can really only look like themselves, just bigger.
In other words...
They can't glamour themselves into other people. So this means that Alonso has a true form that looks something like this too. Alright, now I can finally talk about this. So that PX that was in the list of unused party members, that's Junah in her true Nydia form. So yeah, it wasn't anything like particularly like insane or drastic of a cut party member, it's just a different portrait for Junah. But there is the fact that glamours can fade when they get particularly flustered by something. And yet more backstory on Junah. And this is why she hates those flowers. Yeah, that is when we saw that for the first time. It is really sad because, like, this is like, those flowers are legitimately a trauma trigger for her for very understandable reasons. Okay, well, the fact that you even trust us with that is amazing. This actually does give you the most points with her, even though it does feel a little bit weird to me. Like, I almost wonder if this is kind of an, it's okay for a Nydia to call another Nydia cute, but when someone else does it, it's, because it can, I don't know, it can feel a little patronizing. Or at the same time, though, I guess she does like being admired in that form.
But... You're...
I do feel like there's really not much reason she wouldn't be able to show her form in front of the rest of the party. I think everyone would accept her for that by now. Conquer emotional scars and her strong faith in me. We're about to get a new archetype. No. You know, kind of funny writing this rank up about masks and showing your true self.
New power.
And we get...
Wait for me, Myrtus.
Blatant Atlas reference!
Persona Master!
We're just collecting all the Atlas references, aren't we? So first thing to note about the Persona Master is that it has the exact same mask system as Mask Dancer. None of the mask skills or affinities change, and it still has the weakness of taking up an accessory slot. But its base skills focus on inflicting weaknesses on enemies without needing to use synthesis, of the elements electric, wind, and light. And then at max rank, you get Ruin's Flamethrower, a strong fire attack to all enemies that removes buffs. Think of this like a lesser Dragon God. In addition to mastering Mask Dancer, Persona Master also requires 10 ranks in Faker, which isn't hard to get with archetype experience items alone. But as is the case with a lot of late game archetypes, it's the synthesis skills where this really shines. And it's only learned one new one, but it is a big one. Masquerade Charge gives the charge buff to the entire party at once. You'll probably want a utilitarian's manual, so this only costs 1 press turn, leaving you with 3 press turns for the rest of the party to go to town with physical attacks. This skill does charge up the user as well, but Junah's not likely to be doing any good physical damage even with charge. If you somehow put Masked Dancer on, like, Basilio, that could be okay, but, the only reason you want to do that is to hear the funny dialogue everybody besides Junah has when switching to the Masked Dancer line. In fact, I'll save you the trouble and play all those lines now.
With dance and mask, I sway the heart!
Any good noble knows how to dance.
Do not underestimate the power of dance.
Attend me, for I dance with death.
I shall demonstrate to you my finest dance.
I'm well acquainted with the dance of the battlefield.
Which in fact, Junah will be able to start working on quite soon.
Then...
Yeah, in a way, like, showing this to us and, like, you know, like, and only doing it because she really, really trusts us, I almost wonder if this is kind of analogous to, like, coming out. Now, I believe there is a landmark on the way to the tower.
Hey, did you
There
see
is,
outside?
okay.
Long thought to be a fairy tale, the Decaying Estate stretches across an island in the sky before them. A floating island would be remarkable enough, but the remnants of man-made architecture found here is the true marvel. And yet, those who could see it in the sky through magical means were forbidden from speaking a word of it by the sanctest powers that be. The Gauntlet Runner descends upon legend, its occupants unable to fathom what sort of civilization could have thrived among the ruins.
Yeah, well, really the only other person capable of flight in this world is Luis, so I suppose at least I can take solace in the fact that the Sanctus wouldn't have had to have suppressed, like, that many people, because again, really, it's just him and us who could see this. Although, the model for the Skyrunner there does look a little bit low quality. But this does look a lot like the same kinds of buildings that were in Lost Shinjuku, so it's probably yet another ruin of the old world.
I say.
Yeah, glass windows. Probably by whatever wrecked the Dragon Temple.
Yes, but...
Of course, it's possible it could have been war and monsters. We know they were weaponizing dragons and other gods. Yeah, it's always a sad sight seeing ruins like this. It's like, isn't that? I'm pretty sure that's what the entire poem, like, Ozymandias is about. Oh, speaking of which, Neurus is kind of summing up the, the actual message of the poem Ozymandias. But I think it's really all about leaving a positive legacy for the future. Because all Ozymandias did was say, "Look upon my work so mighty and despair," and he didn't realize that despair would eventually have a double meaning.
Now then.
And we will get the sketch of this there. There is still at least one more landmark left in the game. There's normally an achievement for seeing all the landmarks, but I don't think it'll pop in my recordings, because I already got it in my first playthrough.
Infringing upon the heavens, the Tower of Insolence appears before their eyes. Is the decision to pursue such a beast one of bravery?
That's
or
a
something
reused
else
line.
altogether? The Gauntlet Runner, disturbing countless years of unbroken silence, lands confidently in front of the tower.
I guess that was also used for another tower, I think it was. But yes, welcome back to...
Here.
It's another tower. This one almost looks like an ancient library or something. You know, this is okay. I would like to see, and I've said this in my Persona Q playthroughs before, an Etrian Odyssey dungeon that's like a giant library, like seeing like shelves full of books as the walls.
True.
That would, like, honestly, that would make sense as an EO dungeon. So yes, it is time to enter this monster den and kill multiple birds with one stone. If there are even birds here. Oh right, we've got a big axe on our back. Speaking of axes, I want to bring Heisme because... Oh, I've got him in the party already, nice. Because there are a lot of very good steals here, including what will likely be our first really good axe. I should probably use Junah just to get her up to, like, getting Persona Master. Unless I have enough to actually get her to rank 20. And that unlocks Crimson Flame, very expensive, but pretty heavy fire damage, and +3 magic's great for somebody like you. And the rest I'll throw into Yufa because I would actually appreciate her getting Soul Hacker sometime during this dungeon. But Junah can now unlock Persona Master.
I see.
A strong persona indeed.
This, all right.
I'm counting.
This is an archetype design that I do feel is maybe a little bit too busy, though I do like the fact that, like, it's got that array of masks to the sides of its face, and, like, the actual face itself is just a bunch of cogs.
Let's go.
It's just a very interesting idea of having your true self laid bare behind the masks. How have I not inherited Shield Blessing yet? I think I'll put Junah in the party to start this. Also, Memorandum. The Decaying Estate. We actually have multiple Memorandum entries in this, because I think we also get the one on Nydia's Glamours. Territory on a series of floating islands. Their sheer height puts them past any casual observer's sight, so almost none know of them. Several massive grey tower-like structures stand tall on the islands, glass littering the area around them. Gee, I wonder what these could be. On rare occasions, if the weather is just right, a star-like twinkle can be seen in the nearby sky. Most believe this to mark a giant magma crystal floating in the sky, though it is actually a trick of the light scattered by the island's glass. Yeah, here we go, the Nydia tribe's glamours. From the perspective of other tribes, the Nydia tribe's true facial features and physique are akin to that of a small child. This causes the tribe difficulty, as they are not taken seriously in their original forms. As a result, members of the Nydia tribe begin training when they reach the age of discretion to transform their appearance in such a way they are not misunderstood by other tribes. This power of transformation is a form of magic, but their magic abilities are only so extensive as to adjust the perceived age of their original form, without having to rely on devices such as magic igniters. To transform, they look at others and mimic their appearance, as if performing. This is a special trait of the Nydia tribe. Actually, this sounds similar to the concept of masking, for, like, neurodivergent people. However, their transformation is meaningless if it is easily undone in the presence of others. Therefore, as a general rule, once members of the Nydia tribe leave their homes, they keep their true appearance hidden for their whole life, not even revealing it to others of their own tribe. In some ways, this dooms them to a life of solitude in which all their relationships are predicated by a lie. That many Nydians are eccentric is partially due to this determination they hide within themselves. I have all these inheritance slots and pretty much nothing good to use them on because I can't inherit summoner skills. That's also, like, another slight issue with me having, like, Yufa as my main Seeker, is that ideally in this dungeon you'd want both a Seeker and a Summoner, because Summoner has really strong wind attacks too, but because my only good Seeker is also my only good Summoner, I can only have one or the other. But I'm gonna be trying to rank up Seeker a little bit, just because it'd be really nice to get Soul Hacker on Yufa for this. So we've got Spectos here, pretty much a bog standard Spectos that will die in one hit on the field and also will explode themselves. Not too much to worry about. There should actually be a gold beetle here, so just need to be aware of that. It's right here, okay. Pretty sure that's the only gold beetle in this dungeon. Spectos really aren't worth fighting. They don't give a lot of experience on the field, and trying to fight them in squad combat will result in them just boinging everything. I love saying boing, it's fun. But now, on this floor, we have Ziocropos. And here's the thing about Ziocropos. Okay, that one actually has Spectos of Lament with it. That one does too. The thing about Ziocropos is, as I've mentioned, if we fight them, we can steal their evil eye talismans, and then attempt to run away. And then we can go again, and steal the evil eye talisman again, and run away again. And then we go again.
Do this.
And then we steal the evil eye talent. Well, didn't steal it that time, but you get the idea.
Why, hello there. Everyone is counting on me.
I'm not going to bore you too much with this, but after I have finished with this dungeon, I think I will actually just run around and get a bunch of, holy crap, that's a lot of Cyclopses. Get a bunch of these evil eye talismans via off-camera farming, because obviously they're insanely good. They are debilitating a can. But this is probably your best shot at farming these, at least right now.
Are you having trouble?
Kind of mitigates the uses of the Trickster archetype, but oh well. Staff of Create. Right after I buy a better mage staff at Altaberry. And that increases the strength of all magic. I mean, the other one does boost damage to undead, but also it has like 50 less power, so again, like, I'll need to do some calculations to see if that equates to, like, better or worse than having that bonus against undead. Also, hello, Heisme. Their lack of fear is a strength. Okay, yes, let's be wary ourselves, because eventually there'll be something that we can't field kill.
Just a bunch of weak ones. We should be fine.
Just a bunch of weak ones, eh? Well, we do have the Cyclops that was originally a boss, but yeah, that's actually quite a... That's effectively a small army of Cyclopses. Reminds me a little bit of the Ogre Kingdoms in Warhammer Fantasy that are basically focused on having a relatively small-ish army of, like, all ogres, so they're pretty elite troops. The one thing that kind of confused me about them back in the day was that, like, ogres were actually quite fast due to their longer legs. And, like, you don't really expect, like, a faction of, like, really big, bulky guys to also be one of the fastest in the game, but, like, from what I remember of Warhammer Fantasy, ogres were quite fast. But hello there, treasure.
What now? Right there.
Thankfully, I can't get preempted by them while I'm attacking.
Well done.
Can't field kill you guys. But they are still weak to pierce, like always. Okay, well, this counts as a different thing. We can also steal a Magla Mace from them, so let's try this. Got the Magla Mace. That was a healer item. And Hummer, do you have anything better? No, you just have... I haven't actually used Horse-Drawn Carnage really nearly as much as I should. But Yuva does seem to be up to the point of being close to getting... Soul Hacker, which I would very much appreciate. Okay, I've only inherited Wild Salvo. You're gonna die very soon, so I can probably go for a slightly cheaper attack, I guess? Adamant Nightblade? There you go. Probably gonna finish it with regular attacks, too.
I don't think there's any more backup coming.
Yeah, no more backup because I killed all of the smaller Cyclopses. So, since I've already covered Cyclopses, I don't really have a fantasy creature of the day here. So instead, I thought, I did realize, though, that I do need to talk about Chimeras, because I didn't talk about those during the forest. Oh, right, these things are weak to wind. That's the entire reason why I put Yufa in that archetype, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to use that, I'm just going to attack the other things. I need ninja. Don't we all, Heisme, don't we all. And goodbye.
What a finale!
It may only be effectively single element, but like the Seeker line does kind of power creep the Mage line in terms of magical damage. Like I will still give Mage credit. Mage is very good in the early game to hit elemental weaknesses, and Wizard is great for its shield blessing passive, but yeah, it's kind of like they're not actually as good for magical offense as you'd think. Also, we have Guptaroses back again. We can field kill the smaller ones, but that one in the middle, that's a new variant of Guptaros, and we don't want to. We want to be very careful because yeah, they like to charge forward. Ow! Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. I am so glad that I pressed that button at the right time. I just realized how low my health was. This is a Guptaron. It's weak to Pierce and Ice, but the reason why I wanted to bring Heisme here is because, yeah, we can swipe a Crystal Axe. I'll probably want to swipe another one as well later on because Corrosive Ass, I guess.
Hit their weakness.
I've got just the dance for you. We might say it's to die for.
Should I use a Dance to Die For here? I can actually use Dance Macabre, but, probably not a great idea given that Will is, very soon about to, go boom. Divine Elixir activate, and, well, you can get a press turn with Wild Salvo here.
I shall do my magic.
But yeah, my actual topic for today was going to be talking about Junah and her reception within the Metaphor fandom, because, one of the things that I found is that Junah ranks quite low in both Japanese and Western popularity polls. She ranks by far the lowest out of the entire party in both regions, and in the Japanese poll, she's actually below multiple NPCs. And it gets me wondering why. Now, as I said earlier, that was kind of a total waste. I realized too late that I had a flashing turn there. Now, eventually, Yufa's gonna have a pretty strong magical pierce attack, but now is not that day.
Looks like that's all of them. Great.
Cause like as I said, nobody's really truly bad in Metaphor. Like I don't think there's really any character the fans outright hate, but it's interesting to me that Junah is just not considered to be as notable as the rest of the party in a lot of ways. Or at least there's something potentially unpalatable about her that makes her rank lower. I have two theories as to why. One of them is the reveal of her true form. I don't want to go out of my way and say like, oh, that makes the ship of her and Will like icky, because I know there are some people in this comment section who do ship Will and Yufa, and like I mean no offense to that, but I've personally noticed that the ship's popularity did decrease quite a bit after this reveal happened. Like, the game could have been way worse with this, by the way. Like, I know some other RPGs that would very much fetishize the Nydia true form, for lack of a better word. So, at the very least, they're not doing that. But I do think the reveal of it alone does make a lot of people kind of hesitant about Yufa, especially since she is kind of one of the more overtly flirtatious members of the party, at least initially. So there's that, but other people that I've talked to, and me myself a little bit, also feel like the problem is that is this some kind of council? Or, no, it's not a Cyclops versus Minotaur war. It's, like a council. They're like, okay, they've infiltrated the tower. Now, I want Minotaur Squad A to go down and intercept them. Meanwhile, Cyclops Squad B will stay here and go, oh, why do we have to be on guard duty? Why can't we smash them? Hey, we're the ones who can charge in really fast. We make sense as the advanced group. And then, meanwhile, while they're all busy arguing...
You've got this.
Hey, wait. Why's Bob gone silent? I don't know. Why has he gone silent?
Is everyone ready?
Okay, we got two, Evil Eye Talismans to potentially steal here. He wasn't really contributing to these meetings anyway.
Tread lightly.
Oh, now Cyclops Sam is down. Okay, now officially the bit's over, they're all attacking me, and those other Cyclopses are not field killable, so I almost feel like this dungeon is designed assuming that they are field killable, but anyway. I have needed Pierce attacks surprisingly rarely. I guess that's because like a lot of these enemies that are weak to Pierce here are still field killable. I love that term, field killable. Come on, Yufa, I just really want to get Yufa to Soul Hacker. Oh, right! Speaking of field killable, goodbye! Gotta be careful of the actual leader of this whole bunch, though, but, finally getting a lot of Giant's Ribs. Hello there, yeah, this is the one point where the party saying, oh no, you're on low health, you better heal, is actually kind of relevant, because, if you're not careful, you can easily, you can be field killed. Again, for example, let's have Yufa do the healing to her boyfriend, her totally not boyfriend,
Let's give him a fight.
because, yeah, that could have happened there, if I wasn't careful.
They're totally
Now, I would like to try and steal a second copy of that axe. Okay, there we go. Now Basilio and Will can both use them. Little concerned about you not being stunned right now. Let's just hit you with a cyclone-y thing, and you're probably gonna use Breath of Battle. They like to start with this. It's really funny how, like, we saw them using Slam Shatter right at the start of the game, and now we finally have access to it via Berserker. But yeah, the other theory that I have about Junah, and maybe why she's not quite as popular as some other characters. You know what, let's actually see if this works. Is that Junah has already had her character development. Oh no, it's a scary pole dance! The pole dance that makes you lose the will to live. It's Shadow Reset in Persona 4. Anyway. But, like, yeah, unlike the other party members, well, for one thing, Junah's initial arc is not really focused on her very much. Every other character, even Yufa, who joins at the end of her arc rather than the start, the arc is very heavily focused on Yufa. It's all about the island, the Mustari people, and Yufa accepting, thinking about whether she wants to accept her role as a sacrifice. Meanwhile, Junah's really only, like, hugely relevant in the Brylehaven arc at the very end. She doesn't really get that much time to kind of fully establish herself within that arc, and the other notable thing is that Junah is very much a character who has already gone through her development. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I actually think Junah's a great character. The story also does a good job of keeping her relevant as well. Like, I don't think Junah's, like, had nothing to do via her connection to, like, the Prince's Resistance, her connection to Basilio and Fidelio, and just in general, the way that she fits into the dynamic of the party. I really do think that she's never felt like she's dropped off in screen time or relevance at all. But it has to be noted that Junah effectively came into this story as a fully formed, fully developed character. She kind of already conquered most of her fears and anxieties, whereas the rest of the party had to face those to awaken. In fact, you might notice that the speech when she awakens to her archetype is a little bit different than the others.
I choose life of my own will!
Thank you. Thou hast chosen a noble parting. O thou anguished traveller who hath borne the weight of parting from the start. Henceforth, thy fears and insecurities become thy light.
It doesn't say thou hast chosen a noble parting, because she'd already made her choice a long time ago. Oh, you are so close to having Soul Hacker. I think I'm actually gonna warp back to the bottom and get that on the way back up again. Also, I should equip those crystal axes. Okay, yeah, those are pretty strong. Kind of annoyed they're not purple, though. I mean, like, look, they do look purple, but I mean, like, purple rarity. I guess it's more like pink. Okay, that's a very... that's a... I haven't heard that before. That is an amazing, fail to escape line.
His power grows stronger still.
And there is Mastered Magic Seeker, and I've used all of Heiseme's MP on stealing, which gets me 42 Evil Eye Talismans. Yeah, that's probably enough. But now, it's soul hacking time.
Fascinating.
Although, unfortunately, I actually think that, Summoner might be better here. Depends on if the skill that you start with is AoE. Void Wave. One enemy, okay. Though in one rank, you do get Seeker's Gale. Okay, the Guptaron doesn't seem to respawn. Probably obeys the same logic as the, Elementers. Okay, that Guptaron respawns. Samurai on Stroll does have less strength than Berserker, but it does... And I do wonder if this will actually take effect, because these things should be considered giants. Because, okay, I really would like to go Summoner for Eagle Lion King, but to do that, I actually need a Mage, Seeker, or Healer in the party. And I want to do a bit of a silly setup of Berserker Will, Samurai Stroll, and Junah using Masquerade Charge. So for this, Stroll is going to inherit whatever the best pierce attack he has is, which I think is kind of just Power Thrust. And he shall also inherit Charge. Wait, no, I don't even need to give him Charge, because Masquerade Charge is giving him Charge. Guess he could use Formation of Vigor. This fight is very interesting. The idea is that you use AoE attacks and try to keep... Well, okay, I'll explain it once we get in here, because it's not going to make sense until we start the fight. Because here we have this thing with that very, very spiky club. That is the club of the Bane of a Million Mega Man. And apparently, this is the club that we have to claim.
However,
yeah, forget being struck by it. If you just even casually touch that club, you'd probably bleed to death. Yeah. Interesting. We were told that this thing gets enraged when its allies die, and yet it has no allies. I wonder what that implies. So, first things first, we're going to start things off with Masquerade Charge. This is an insanely good synthesis skill. Okay, that is just straight up Persona 4 reference. That is just Persona 4 and 3! Did I skip that animation every time I used that move in my first playthrough? I did not realize that was both a Persona 4 and a Persona 3 reference at the same time. Okay, that's great. But yeah, I am actually not going to attack yet. But I can show its stats. So yeah, weak to Pierce, also weak to Wind. Oh, it actually does have a very good Steel. And Hayasme is currently out of MP, so I might need to swap him in and MP recover him. Junah, how about you, BRB for a moment now that you've done your part? Okay, he's actually gained a little bit of MP back, but not enough back to actually, use Steel. I think all I'll need is just a Magla Pill. And, my idea is that I probably shouldn't put everyone in the front row now. That sounds like a very bad idea. I can at least buff your attack by 3 stages. Because, yeah, on its first available turn, it will use Soul Cry, and it will summon another copy of itself. So, now... Okay, well, so much for our buffs. Now is the time where we want to use AoE attacks and keep their health even, because if one of them goes down, the other will go berserk. But, firstly, Captain Semaphore. That can be purified into something really, 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 really strong. I think that actually did some very minor damage. So I believe that Will and Stroll right now are both charged, but Stroll's going a little later into the turn. Kind of want to have Formation of Vigor up before I do anything else, but I mean, I guess we can start off with this. So yeah, with that plus charge, and with Yufa spamming Seeker's Gale, gotta make sure that we are keeping their HP even. Stroll is going to not have an AoE Pierce attack. Right, that was actually kind of dumb. They drain electricity. I mean, their club does kind of look like a lightning rod, so I guess Stroll's gonna... It's time to strike! I forgot to put an AoE Pierce attack on Stroll, but yeah. So, can I steal from the other one? Yes, okay, got 2 copies of the Captain Semaphore now. Will jumps back, and I suppose, actually, I can now swap you back out, because I really want to be spamming my Masquerade Charge. And jump you back and use another Seeker's Gale. These are really expensive, and the MP recovery doesn't exactly sustain it very much. Illusory Eyeball. That not seem to do anything. And charging itself. Okay, good to know, but here's the thing. Okay, no, Stroll is not, Stroll's used up his charge already, I think. If I do this, I need to hit the other one. But yeah, you're gonna use another one of these hilarious Persona references. Technically, Yufa and Junah both get charged from this, but like, why would you even want to actually use that on them? Oh no! Oh, that's bad! Okay, well, I guess now Stroll gets to spam his single target attacks on one of them. Good thing Yufa also has a single target wind attack. Yeah, there are a lot of strategies that can easily get ruined by you missing something, but yeah, let's leave you low. Let's switch up our strategy a little bit. Again, thankfully, Yufa has some single target wind attacks. And you can just power thrust that one. Oh, Seeker's Gale's all enemies. Well, I guess you can be the healer right now. Will is gonna smash his salvo. Let's just get you lower, and then we can hopefully finish them off in one fell swoop. Let's go. Void Wave is such a cool attack name. Okay. Just a couple more hits and we should be able to... Yeah, they look like they're... One more good hit on you and then they'll be about even. And you know what, in preparation, let's go ahead and Masquerade Charge everyone again. Thankfully this doesn't move everyone up to the front row. It'd kind of suck if it did. Frenzy. I feel like that's what they're supposed to use when they're enraged, but no, both of them are still up. Okay, that one's charged. That one has 3 stacks of defense down, but we are all currently no attack buffs though. However, let's try for the wild salvo again. Oh, they just died right then. Goodbye. None of my other wild salvos must have been charged. That one did a lot more damage than my other wild salvos. Okay, I haven't been pumping agility for a while.
I shall rise to the occasion.
Even I had more to learn.
Marvelous.
I'm better and stronger.
I feel new power.
Yeah, Basilio's strength doesn't actually look that high right now, but it does really, really start to build as he levels up, because he basically gains strength on like almost every level. So yeah, that is an interesting fight. Though you've got to be very careful not to miss one of them when you need to take out both of them at the same time at the end, because otherwise the one remaining is going to go very crazy. But it's kind of a cool idea. Instead of starting with allies like the other Cyclops, it actually summons another copy of itself. Or could be like a brother or something, I don't know how this works. But yeah. We need to stay here because, as usual, there's an extra floor in the tower, and we're actually quickly approaching the point in the game where we'll find out the significance of the top floors of the towers. But for now, though, just remember it's an extra floor, and there is an item here that we want to pick up, and that item is... Talisman of the Divine, okay. You might notice I haven't been getting summons in Academia very much, and that's because I'm saving a lot of my talismans for when I unlock Devil Summoner. Because then there are some very, very strong summons that I want to make sure that I unlock ASAP. Between Samurai, Paladin, Ninja, which of these 3 is gonna complete Moore's final request first? So besides taking out that Elementa, I'm pretty much done here. Yeah, that dungeon went a lot quicker than I expected it to.
Woo, not too shabby. Let's keep this up, everyone. I've done it!
A new means of protection.
So as we head back to town, all of you in the comments, what are your theories on why Junah is the least popular member of the party, at least according to the official Atlas polls? I think it's a combination of potentially iffy aspects from the Nydia True forms, but maybe not really like that much, but also just the fact that she's like, she doesn't really develop very much. She's by far the character who has, like, the least in terms of personal growth and arc, because she sort of already mostly has herself figured out. But yeah, now we can finally stop this guy from being a moron. We're basically stopping him from suffering from NPC-itis.
Hey.
And we only have 2 more days left before we go to the final showdown with Luis. And once that happens, some really crazy plot events are gonna take place, so... yeah. I'm gonna make the next part pretty special. We're gonna be maxing out Stroll and Maria's bonds. So, see you all for that.